Whereas, I'm just looking at his history. He kind of plays everybody. He's not really focused on one particular champ. You're right that he does play these hyper carry champs a little, kind of favors those, but you can't really target ban him is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. We've seen him in these situations where bans are thrown at him, pick up things like the Sivir, and carry just as hard.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, with that said, we are going to go ahead and get into champion select. First ban coming out, Ari, targeted at She Swears She Was level 18 on the side of the Dolo gang.
No problem.
Interesting. I don't see too many Ari games, but maybe something that I don't know.
Yeah, Ezreal going to be taken away from Jadkins here, most likely. Like we said, Shanabot mainly focusing on those hyper carries, and Ezreal more of a jungle champ at the moment.
Yeah, maybe it's an Ez jungle target. I know Band has played it a lot and had pretty good success with it.
Yeah, it's a very early pressure kind of champion. He can clear his blue and red buffs extremely fast, and then use his what's it called, the jump, to get into lanes and gank very well, and just chase people down with that red buff.
Yeah, and the early cheese is really what you're going for. It's kind of like a Twitch, and I hate Twitch.
Twitch jungle is just disgusting.
Twitch jungle, yeah. The J4 ban, probably Jadkins. I know he plays a lot of that, and it's pretty scary when he plays it. So I think that was a good ban.
Last ban coming out from Fire Chickens here is going to be the Rengar. Pretty interesting. We haven't seen Rengar in the meta very much. It must be Jedtech over there.
Yeah.
Gench? Gench is, yeah.
He has a pretty good win rate. Quite a few games. It does look like they targeted the jungle pretty hard. Seeing kind of, his two most played junglers have been taken out. I'd imagine they pick up either Rek'Sai here for the Dolo gang. It seems to be something that he is a little more comfortable on, but we'll see.
Yeah, especially with that jungle pool. Oh, there's the Sejuani. Yeah, the jungle pool just getting pinched harder and harder.
Yeah, Sedge is a really good pickup. Really strong. I think she has, her late game is ridiculous. Lots of good CC, great at team fighting and picks. Pretty versatile in the team comp that you can draft.
And speaking of great team fighting, Rakan picked up for the Dolo gang. Probably one of the best initiating supports at the moment.
Yeah, very strong. I wonder if the Zaya would be picked up here, because that's a combo that's to be feared.
Yeah, there it is. Definitely something that Shanabot could have played as well. So good takeaway and also good pickup for that bot lane combo.
Yeah, definitely. So
we're looking for Fire Chickens here to possibly respond with their bot lane so that they don't lose bot lane picks in that banning phase. Yep. And there's the Alistar being hovered.
It's interesting to know, to kind of think about how they're going to deal with that lane. Because they do have a lot of pressure. The Alistar's a good pick, very safe, strong once he gets to level 6. Definitely provides the tankiness and helps with the Sejuani passive as well.
Yeah, another important thing to note is that the Alistar can interrupt the Rakan engage. One of the few supports to actually be able to interrupt that, as well as the Tristana ultimate, going to be able to help with that as well.
Yeah. Kind of comes down to timing though, because it can be such a quick engage. Just the knock up or the dash from Rakan can go
and then
right
the taunt coming through. So it's definitely something that has to be timed very well and requires some team coordination too. So interesting Kha'Zix picked up here by Gench to go into the Sejuani. So Kha'Zix definitely going to be able to gank more early game and have more early game damage. But if this goes late, you're going to have to wonder how they're going to deal with that Sejuani.
Yeah, I'd imagine that Kha'Zix is looking to counter jungle in the early game. Because Sedge is clear while good. She doesn't have a lot of, she can't solo somebody in the early levels as well as she can in the late game. But we'll see what happens, and I think it comes down to warding as well. Ooh, the Jace ban.
So a lot of top lane bans coming out here. The Jace actually targeted both at mid and top, and then the Fiora coming out too.
The Fiora, wow. They do have a couple games on Fiora, so I think that was a pretty good ban.
Yeah, especially if they're looking to pick up one of those tanks in the top lane that has a rougher laning phase into the Fiora.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the Maokai, maybe even the Cho'Gath.
The Echo was an interesting ban. I don't see too many Echo games played. I see more like Ori. I think that might be a good pickup for Fire Chickens. It works pretty well with the Sedge and the Alistair. Unless Trig is, or she swears she was 18, is trying to take it away.
Ornn actually a pretty underrated champion, I would say. Good ban coming out from Dolo gank here. Picks up the Galio.
The Gallo, I think they're really going for a hard engage here. Rakan can really hit the backline pretty quickly, and then the Galio ulti can be very disruptive.
Ooh, there's the Azir. Ooh, I want to see the Azir. I do want to see it, but it will be the Corki mid.
The Corki.
And that Galio could still be a flex pick. We don't know whether it's going to be going top with Mr. Solo Dolo or mid, which swears she was level 18. Corki, pretty safe pick regardless, though.
Corki's a safe pick, and it's pretty good into Galio. You kind of have that range where you could poke him down in the early levels. And once Galio hits, ooh, Nar's a really good pick.
Yeah, it really rounds out this team comp.
Definitely.
Definitely going to be heavier on the attack damage side for Fire Chickens here, but Corki going to bring enough magic damage so that they can't just stack armor and win team fights.
Yep.
And the Azir locked in, so that will be the Galio top, Azir middle for swear she was level 18. Azir recently getting buffs on the most recent patch. His range has been decreased, but he has huge attack speed buffs, which scale really well into late game. So definitely going to see how he stacks up against the Corki.
One sec. Sorry, I had to step away for a sec, but
okay,
I agree. I agree with what you said. The Azir pick is pretty good, and it also can help peel for the Xayah, because you got to think, the way I envision their team fights playing out is Rakan engages onto their backline, Galio, ultis, and then Kha'Zix jumps in as well. But that kind of leaves Gnar and possibly Sedge to be going for Azir and Xayah, and the Azir ulti, the Emperor's Divide, is going to be a great tool to kind of peel for himself and for the AD carry.
Also, very mobile teams coming across from both sides. Pretty much every champion on both sides have some kind of dashing or jumping ability. So going to be really explosive team fights with the Tristana resets coming in and the Xayah ultimate as well.
Yep. I think a big part of it too is going to be when to commit and when to just kind of poke, because I think with so many dashes, the Sedge ulti could be easily dodged or kind of dashed out of. So really need to be careful with engages here.
So who would you give the late game here to?
It's a really tough call.
It's very close. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. I would edge it in the favor of Fire Chickens, just slightly, because I think their champs scale a little bit harder. Mainly, it's the Sedge into the Kha'Zix. That's really what I'm worried most about, because the way I see their team playing out is very group oriented. They're gonna stay together. They're gonna, Alistair's gonna be peeling for the backline, while I imagine Gnar and Sedge are gonna be focusing the carries. So I don't see Kha'Zix really being able to get the isolated damage, and I think that's really what makes him so strong.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that the value of this Kha'Zix is going to have to come in the early game. We're going to need to see some
100%.
early counter jungling, some early ganks, Especially at level 6 now, a lot of Kha'Zix is opting to evolve their ultimate first and just able to run around the jungle invisible.
Wow. Yeah, that has a lot of pressure. So actually is a Galio top, which is...
Yeah, into the Gnar might be a bit of a rough laning phase.
Yeah, I'd imagine Gnar wins the lanes. I think bot lane for Fire Chickens is going to be losing, at least in the early game. I imagine they're just probably just trying to farm, play it safe. I'm pretty sure Corki and Gnar kind of have the advantage. It'd be interesting to know or to see how Jadkins takes advantage. Maybe he'll be focusing the bot lane, or maybe focusing the mid lane to get more, to get Corki, pushed ahead and snowballing so that they have, an AP threat.
Yeah,
or a magic
definitely.
damage threat.
Quick shout out to Cage, who's asking to be shouted out to in the Twitch chat. So if anyone else wants a shout out, make sure to put your name there unless you're Sig. Sig will not be getting any shout outs.
My client just crashed, but...
Yeah, mine is also... Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I just restarted it.
Get into loading screen. One other thing about that Xayah Rakan lane that's going to pressure early is the increased range you get by choosing those two champions. So first of all, Rakan will have the Xayah feathers on his auto attacks as well for some increased damage and some increased feathers, as well as the increased range on the jump. So pretty advantageous lane against the early Tristana there.
Yep. Also good to know that there's 3 people on the Fire Chickens that can proc the passive from Sedge. The Alistair. I think the Alistair and Sedge stun can be very devastating. I know when we play Sedge and Braum, it's pretty ridiculous because you can get the stun off for so long.
Yeah, definitely. Are you about like 19, 20 seconds?
22, 23,
Yeah,
24.
we should be
yeah,
good.
Okay. Are you a little bit behind? I could just pause for a sec.
Maybe pause for half a second. I think that'd be good.
Alright, 33, 34, 35.
36, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, looks like we have Dolo gang setting up a little bush trap here, hoping that Fire Chickens will face check. Oh, they will be spotted out by Jadkins here.
Ooh. So they know the invade's coming.
Yeah, they're just going to be able to get down some vision, but not many surprises here. Jadkins going to be starting bot side most likely. And Corki sends them a little present on their way out, a little false bomb.
A little, we know you're here.
Ooh, Jadkins. His little glacial armor will be broken.
Minions have spawned.
Oh, wait. I need to switch the teams on the overlay real quick.
Yes, it is the other way around.
Galio actually pretty good in the early levels at shoving the waves with his Qs, so even though the Gnar does have the range advantage, he should be pretty well off in that top lane.
Yep. Some good poke coming down from the Gnar.
So Kha'Zix has been spotted out on a ward placed here by Fire Chickens on his raids, so they're going to be able to track him in that jungle and try and counteract his early pressure.
Yep, and I think that was a good move. Here, the level 2 engage coming in.
Yeah, Young Dolo taking a lot of damage. Forward bomb coming out. Ignite goes down, but he will get out. Flash burn by Young
So
Dolo,
close.
as well as heal by Trig.
Sedge maybe looking to invade. Nope, just dropping a ward.
So even though the Tristan is pretty weak early on, the level 2 engage from the Alistar is always just something that you have to be mindful of.
Yep, and they got to level 2 first, which gave them a lot of pressure. I think that was a good play on their part to shove the wave and get ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Trading just the Ignite there for the heal of Trig and the flash of Young Dolo.
Yeah.
Go back in, but not finding anything that time.
Wow. Rakan's almost back at full health already.
Yeah, just had to use one or two of his potions there, and he's already healed back up.
Yep.
Now Corki should be able to go aggressive on the Azir pretty early on, before he can get his first item. But it looks like we might have some action here in the top. Ooh, Jackin finds Gensh here, but Gensh will hop out for safety. Meanwhile, bot lane, Ignite comes down onto Djox. They'll just trade some autos though, and that'll be the end of that skirmish.
Good engage. I didn't get to see how it started, but ooh, gets caught by the taunt.
Yeah, Young Dolo jumping back onto Shanabot here. And that shield that Rakan can give to Xayah actually helps with that bomb damage quite a bit.
Yeah, really negates, because that's a lot of her early game damage
Is getting stacks
there.
on those bombs.
Yep.
You can see pings going down from Fire Chickens here, aware that Kha'Zix is on the bot side.
Yep. So they know where he is, and I think that's really good. He did try to make the play top, but was spotted by the ward.
Yeah, Jackin's actually doing a really good job of making sure that Gensh can't impact these lanes early on. By both tracking him and arriving at the top lane when he was there.
Interesting that Trig, I mean, they kind of had the advantage earlier, because it seemed like they had a lot more, like the health advantage at least. They didn't really take advantage of it. You know, they're up a couple CS, but the trade's kind of going in favor of Fire Chickens right now.
Yeah, and Shanabot's starting with that. Ooh, Djox. Ooh, knocked up. Trade's gonna go low here. Stun coming out onto Young Dolo.
Coming in.
Ooh, Gensh flashing in. Gets the slow onto Djox. Heal comes out from Shanabot. Ooh, flash away from Trig. But looks like he will go down to Kha'Zix here. Ooh, yeah, first blood goes over to Young Dolo. But in return, they take the life of Gensh on the Kha'Zix.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade. Actually, not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, great job by Jackins arriving just in time there, as well as Something Stinks channeling his teleport. So this actually opens up for Jadkins to come back bottom with all summoner spells being used, and he still has his own flash available. With Sejuani, you usually want to try and set up a lane gank and come out from the bush with your charge as well as your flash, and you can guarantee yourself a kill usually.
Yeah. Rakan getting the kill, I think it's actually not as bad as it could have been. You know, I think I personally like when supports get the early kills because I think it helps the laning a lot more for the ADC. But
gank here on to Shear's level 18. Just didn't get spotted out by the vision, and he will go down to Silver Mane.
Great roam from Alistair.
Just no wards in the river to spot out that roam.
Yep. The knock or the headbutt into the turret was really well timed, and then the knock up right after.
Yeah, Azir usually a pretty slippery champion to try and lock down, but Gensh caught out here in his own jungle.
And another one.
The flash wasn't available. He used it in the last fight, and he falls to Djox.
Wow. This Alistair's all over the map right now.
Yeah, Djox here as well as Jadkins just roaming around the map and making these plays, shutting down the Gensh on the early Kha'Zix like we said.
Yeah, the Mobize is a really strong, and I think he actually got that last time we played too. I pretty sure I remember him doing a level 2 gank on me.
Yeah, definitely something Alistar is adept at with that WQ combo. Getting those Mobies and just being able to run around the jungle and run around the lanes. So now we have a BF sword and a Dorn's blade from Trig against just the pickaxe of Shanabot, so possibly some advantageous trading for the side of Dolo gang in the bot lane.
Look at the CS difference in top lane though. Galio is really far ahead, like almost 30 CS.
Ooh, Djox goes in, gets knocked up. Oh, this will be the kill.
And he
Picked up by
falls.
Trig. Yeah, very questionable engage on that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
like you were
maybe
saying, the early ninja tab I picked up from Mr. Solo Dolo, just negating that early Gnar damage.
He's almost 30 CS down. I mean,
Yeah, just 8 minutes into the game.
yeah.
So Shanabot gonna have to be pretty careful here, but the bot lane of Dolo gang looks like they do want to recall.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very important kill for the bot lane of Dolo gang. Their jungler was starting to fall very far behind on this this snowballing jungler, so
Yeah.
very important that the bot lane was able to get a kill on their own.
Yeah. It's kind of hard when you play these snowbally champs because you don't really have the option of going utility in the sense like, you know, if you're playing J4, you kind of, if you get ahead, you build damage, but if you fall behind, you know, you build tank and kind of you're used for your EQ and your ulti. But Kha'Zix is one of those champions where you really do need to snowball because you don't really have another option.
Yeah, just no utility coming out from that champion.
Yeah. The Mega Gnar comes out, but can't find the engage.
Yeah, Mr. Solo Dolo using his charge to get out of that one. Yeah, doing a great job keeping up his CS here. Still about 25 ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh, Gensh runs into Jackins and something stinks here, but won't go in. Playing a little bit more reserved after that early game setback that he ran into. Yeah, and thanks to that early kill on Xayah, she's just able to consistently shove in these waves and just keep harassing Shanaba under tower. You can see here Djox goes in, but takes about half his health bar as punishment. Maybe about 70%.
Really tough to find a window or an opportunity when, you know, they can heal up so much and their shield really does negate a lot of the damage that the Tristana bomb is going to do.
Yeah, and Djox on the Alistar also going to have a much less reliable sustain than the young Dolo on the Rakan.
Yep.
Oh, Mega Gnar goes in. Mr. Solo Dolo caught out here. Jadkin's coming in. He does have his ultimate available. Oh, but Gensh is here as well.
They decide to back out.
Ooh, great play by Gensh there. Ooh, Gensh hops back in. Taunt coming out from Mr. Solo Dolo. Gets both of them. The Galio coming in as well for the knockup. And the flash kill from Gensh. Great kill on Gensh. Oh, but no, he does get away. Oh, the flash in from Mr. Solo Dolo. Oh, but he will drop to something stinks in the Gnar. So all in all, a 2-for-1 in favor of the Dolo gang. But bot lane engages here. The Xayah ultimate comes out and roots up Shanaba, but he jumps out. Now Djox taking the brunt of the damage, but he'll also get out.
What time are you at?
I'm at 11:23, 24, 25. Are you a little bit behind?
I'm a little in front.
In front? Okay.
Yeah. 29?
30, 31, 32, 33.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
So a favorable trade there for Dolo gang, only losing Mr. Solo Dolo and getting both Jadkins and something stinks in that top lane fight. Especially important that Kha'Zix was able to pick up a kill and try and get back into this game. Finish his warrior enchantment. Ooh, another engage from young Dolo here, just getting some poke onto Djox. But Jadkins has arrived as well as Gensh.
Ooh.
It looks like both teams will decide to back off though. These junglers just neck and neck, always ganking at the same time and keeping tabs on each other in the jungle.
Very strong. The Xayah has the BF sword on Trist. It's just, you can really see the difference in their trades, but Trist doing a really good job of keeping the farm up, playing safe.
And even though Swear she was level 18 died to that early game, he has been able to rack up a couple CS lead, or at least stay even in CS. He actually chose to go for that first item Namacon rather than Nashor Sooth, which you see often.
Yeah, I wonder if that's maybe a little bit more because of the changes to Azir. when I played him, I still go Nashor's Tooth, but I've been trying out not Morello's, Ryla's first item. I've kind of been liking it, but once again, I'm pretty new to the champion, so maybe Morello's is the secret.
Silvermane did roam up to the top lane with the package available, but wasn't able to find anything on Mr. Solo Dolo. Already getting pretty tanky on that Galio.
You know, Corky's gonna have his Trinity soon, which is a huge item spike. It'd be really interesting to see if they do try to make something come out of it. Maybe a bot lane roam. It'd be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, also interesting to see how he's able to trade with the Azir with the Namicon at that point. See which person's item spike is more impactful. The CDR is definitely going to be much appreciated on the Azir.
Yeah. Looks like there's just some small poking going on. Both champs really just kind of respecting each other's damage and playing it safe.
Yeah, Nargo's mega here, but not really any engage is going to be coming. Jadkin's on the bot side of the map at the moment.
Ooh. Some good poke from Azir.
Ooh, Jadkin comes in, ult lands on Searcher level 18. All the damage coming out of Corki. Exhaust go down and the ultimate use, and he'll get away safely.
What, sorry, what time are you on?
40, or 14, 29, 30, 31, 32.
Okay. I feel like my game is going fast because I'm like usually with you and then a minute later I'm like not.
Really? Oh, like it's the... Huh, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't know, we'll see. I'm trying to stay a little bit behind, so I'm not...
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm at 49, 50.
Okay, I'm at 53, 54.
Okay.
I can pause for like 2 seconds?
No, that's fine. I sped it up and then sped it down. I'm at
Okay.
50, 15, 01, 2.
4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Cool. It's been kind of slow in these past couple minutes though, right? Like not really too much engages. I think in the early game, both you know, all the players are kind of testing each other out, seeing what the other was capable of. And then now it's kind of, I think they respect the plays.
Ooh, Trig gets knocked up in the tower aggro. We'll be able to return some fire onto D-Jox and walk away though. Blue Elf gonna go over to Silvermane here, gonna help him out in the mid lane.
Definitely gonna help out with the poke. You can see a bit of a CS lead going over to Azir.
Yeah, he's up about 1 wave at the moment. Nothing too huge, but he is able to keep himself farmed up in that lane despite his death. The Triforce has been finished on Corki though, so they'll definitely be looking for some kind of team fight. Maybe around that Cloud Dragon. And Galio, tired of being hit by those Gnar autos, has picked up a Bramble Vest.
That is really tough for Gnar because he really doesn't have any other... You know, the Q isn't that...
yeah, not very reliable form of poke.
Yeah. But it was really good to go the armor. Kind of gave up a lot of... some of the damage for not building the MR, but I think overall it was a good buy.
Yeah, especially when Gnar chose that Frozen Mallet first. The only way he's going to be able to use that is by auto-attacking. So Mr. Solo Dolo dealing with this range versus melee matchup very well. Now up about 35 CS.
Tristana got Shiv first item.
Yeah, so the pickaxe into Shiv, mostly going for that wave clear, just being able to not lose their bot tower.
Yeah.
The combine between
Just
her
wants
passive
to-
and her Shiv, yeah.
Exactly. Just wants to farm and just play it safe. You can kind of tell they don't want to engage. Even though Alistair has been getting some good good pokes. Or good combos kind of under turret or...
Yeah, both young Dolo on the Rakan and D-Jox on this Alistar have shown that they're able to go in and engage these small fights. Vision control in favor of Dolo gang at the moment, though, in terms of that dragon.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to make a... Ooh, guess decided not to.
Yeah, they have D-Jox waiting in the side here, but Azir is just going to play safe and not get caught out. Learned his lesson the first time. Oh, but Jadkins shows his face top lane. The ultimate will not come out. Just giving a love tap onto Mr. Solo Dolo.
Telling him to fear me.
Engage here onto young Dolo, but once again, Djox will just take a lot of hits on the way out.
Some pretty good trading. Ooh, nice crit.
Yeah, good shift proc there too. Ooh, engage again from young Dolo. This time Jadkins arrives. Ooh, Featherstorm comes out. Buster shot, young Dolo out, but the teleport is channeling. Gnar has arrived first, but the Galio will arrive in just a moment, and the fight is already ended. And this looks like it will be first tower in favor of the Dolo gang. Picks up bot lane. May be able to rotate onto this Cloud Dragon as well to push that advantage.
Yeah. It's interesting, neither of the mid laners have really been roaming around too much. Both of them kind of do have the playmaking abilities with Package on Corki and the Emperor's Divide. You could do a lot.
Ooh, Trig caught out here.
Ooh.
Does not have the ultimate available, and Jadkins picks up the kill on him.
Wow. Good.
Meanwhile, Gensh hopping into Silvermane, but won't find anything there.
Good vision from...
Ooh, Sejuani ultimate comes out, catches young Dolo. He will get the knock-up and retreat, but meanwhile, Mr. Solo Dolo, caught in the middle of the entire team of Fire Chicken, will go down. Meanwhile, Shanabot with the reset picks up another kill from young Dolo.
Interesting that he was still there. I would have thought he just backed out.
Yeah, disrespecting there. Oh, forcing the flash out of Slursh's level 18 as well. They just need to respect and give up their mid-turret at this point.
Things really kind of off that one.
Ooh, he engages, but he will just fall. Doesn't even pick up the Alistar.
Wow.
Trying for the highlight reel there, but
yeah,
only ending up with the death.
A little too brave.
Despite that, his team only down about 1,000 gold. Not too much of a deficit after that, thanks to some early kills on the side of Dolo again, as well as that first tower blow.
Things are really kind of snowballing. I mean, the gold difference isn't too much, isn't too significant, but if you think about like the momentum, I think it's definitely in Fire Chicken's favor.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially picking up that Cloud Drake. Maybe Corki with the package and that Cloud Drake movement speed will be able to roam more.
Yeah.
And they are going to rotate Corki in the bot lane to match Mr. Solo Dolo. We'll have to see who matches with Something Stinks in the top lane. Looks like they'll be sending Trig up there. A little bit riskier though, because he can be chased down by the Gnar with that Frozen Mallet.
Yeah, and he doesn't have the, the defenses that...
Yeah, the Bramble Vest and the Warden's Mail that Mr. Solo Dolo would have.
Yeah. And I think also Galio was doing a good job of bullying the Gnar, kind of out of CS and just getting it away. I'm not sure why if the change was really necessary, but
yeah, I think Dolo gang here just rotating them top lane to try and pick up that outer top tower for some extra gold as well. Oh, Mr. Solo Dolo catches Silvermane here. The taunt will go down, but then he'll retreat. Azir turret put up in mid lane to try and hold back some of this pressure coming out from Shanabot. Both teams kind of centering around this mid lane, maybe looking for another team fight.
I think it's a little unfortunate for a Dolo gang that Corki has managed to pick up some of the kills, because I think if I was Gensh, I would have focused the Corki a little bit more, because I think if you shut the Corki down, then they wouldn't have a magic damage threat. And really, you could just build full armor and not have to worry about, you can have a good defense with just buying the one stat. But now Corki's ahead, you kind of have to build...
Gotta dual build that armor and magic resist.
Exactly.
Looks like we have the Fire Chickens moving up a lot of their members into the top lane, but they don't know that Gensh is here. They will be caught out here. Sejuani ultimate available.
Wonder if it's coming down. I think he's waiting to save
young Dolo tries to body block it but misses. And they will lose their 80 carry Trig here.
Alistair.
Ooh, the Gnar comes out. Ultimate goes down onto Young Dolo. He will die to Tristana.
Wow,
Shanabot here
it was
is
the red
popping
buff.
off. Yeah, I think it was the red buff tick.
The red buff, yeah.
Ooh,
Here's another
re-engage.
engage. Oh my god.
So much CC coming out here from Fire Chickens.
Yeah, good flashes on both their part. The Alistair and the Gnar flashed.
And they don't even need their Fed Corky. Winning this fight
Yeah.
4 for 3. Or 3 for 0. In a 4 for 4. There we go.
I think the problem is that Galio really does need to be with them. They don't really have a front line for much of a tank, and I think that's going to happen every time that Sedge, Gnar, and Alistair are just going to jump in and CC somebody.
Yeah, we also mentioned that Mr. Solo Dolo was pretty much the only lane with the advantage on the side of Dolo Gang, and that advantage just isn't showing up in these team fights.
Exactly.
He does have that Thornmail completed against a 3 auto-attacking comp between the Gnar, Corki, and Tristana. He would be pretty huge in these fights.
Yep. I mean, even Sedge auto attack. I mean, they kind of all auto attack, which is a great buy. But if he's not in team fights, how useful is it?
Yeah, I'd like to see Mr. Solo Dolo rotate to the mid lane, but we have a fight here. Ooh, Young Dolo going very low against Shanabot. Shanabot will use the Buster Shot and take him down 1v1. Meanwhile, Trig falls in the top lane to the hands of Something Stinks and D-Jox. This game just starting to snowball out of control in Fire Chicken's favor.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Baron started up.
This is a good play. I think they know that the jungler is bot.
Yeah, and I don't even think that that Dolo Gang has vision on this.
Yeah. They have no idea that it's going on.
Yeah, and it's already been completed. D-Jox waiting on the outside just in case someone showed up, but not even needed in this case.
Also kind of worth to note that the ADC and support on Fire Chickens are, they have the level advantage as well. So things are really not looking too good for the Dolo Gang.
And one thing that I would have we have a flash engage from Young Dolo. He does get the 5-man or the 3-man taunt. Gensh taken very low, but Trig is arriving to this fight now, getting the auto attacks off on Jadkins. Featherstorm comes out and he will fall. Meanwhile, the Young Dolo's life is traded. D-Jox now taking all the damage. Does not have any flash available. Will go back in, but just to die. Shanabot waiting, looking for something, but unable to find it. Something Stinks on this flip push though.
And that was a pretty good trade at 1 for 2. And it also kind of good to know that that's kind of the engage that they have been trying to do, that their team fight was built on.
Ooh, Shanabot catching out. Spurshoe's level 18 here, and he will fall. But there was the fight we saw with the Galio and with the Rakan engaged. They had a very powerful team fight.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. I think they might be a little bit too, I don't want to say they're too far behind. I think maybe the engage could have been a little better, but the idea was definitely there, and I think it's good that they are playing to their strengths, and I think they're kind of realizing what they need to and how they need to do it.
Ooh, Silverman almost caught out here, but will use the flash to get away. Didn't notice that he was on the sweeper of Gensh there, so they knew he was in the bush. Yeah, like you mentioned, at this point, Shanabot just snowballing out of control. Might be too late to notice what they should have been doing for the rest of the game.
Yep. And we know Shanabot's light, like you said, she plays these hyper carries that once they get going, it's very hard to stop them.
Yeah, definitely a master of positioning in these team fights, knowing exactly how to keep himself safe, especially on the Tristana, one of the safest AD carries. And one thing that I have not been impressed with this game was the way Dolo Gang split up their members and sent different members to different lanes. I really wanted to see Mr. Solo Dolo on the Galio farming the mid lane so that his ultimate was accessible to the top or the bot lane, rather than putting him in that bot lane where he was unable to help.
Yeah. I think maybe, I didn't see if his TP was up. Maybe they were trying to make the TP play.
Shanabot jumps in here on Young Dolo, but won't find anything. Mid lane turret will go down. And Sejuani ultimate comes out, doesn't land. Forces them back though. Baron buff still available.
Ooh, Galio coming for the flank right now.
Ooh, great flank. The Azir ultimate comes out as well. Taunt comes down. Shanabot dealing Shaunabot goes down to the Azir. Young Dolo here going very low, will fall to Corki, but in exchange for Silvermane's life. A 2-for-1 so far in favor of Dolo Gang.
That was a really good flank from Galio.
Yeah, Dolo Gang too.
4-man taunt in that after that charge.
Yeah, and perfect sync with the Azir there, just coming in for the ultimate from behind, just pushing the entire team and causing so much chaos.
Yeah, definitely. Like I was saying before, I think it's good that they realize their strengths and kind of how they need to play. I mean, I think they're doing a much better job of being in sync with each other and organizing their team fights a little better.
And look who died in that fight. On the side of Dolo Gang, and they lost their support, but in exchange for the mid lane and the bot lane of Fire Chickens, extremely favorable fight there.
And it's 2 shutdowns also, so really good for Azir picking up the shutdown gold.
Yeah, and you have to think, even though they have the Sejuani on the side of Fire Chickens, Azir is a master of shredding these tanks once he gets to late game.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Solo Dolo here might be caught out. Will be caught by 3 members here. Taunt comes out. His team is collapsing. Looks like he will be able to get out okay. No, he's stunned up. Shaunabot attacking him over the wall, but young Dolo goes in, engages onto Shaunabot. He will lose his life for it, as well as Mr. Solo Dolo. Resets coming in, but unable to find anything else. Silvermane jumps the wall, and Sarish's level 18 will get out safely.
Really good pick. I think Dolo Gang needs to do a little bit better job of being cognizant of kind of where they are in the game. You know, it's almost at the 30-minute mark. I do think if you're gonna, don't face check brushes at this point.
Ooh, gank coming in from Djox. Great ultimate from Xayah to get out. The Featherstorm coming out. Ooh, the Azir ultimate coming out too. Pushing Shaunabot into the tower. He will fall in exchange for Azir's life.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that the Alistar was already tanking the turret because it didn't even hit Shaunabot.
Nargo's mega here, but nothing to do with the remaining fight here. Yeah, and like you said, it's like Dolo Gang realized what they need to do. They realized their win conditions just a little bit too late.
Yeah, and like we were saying in Champ Select, a big part of it is the Kazakhs. I don't think he's bringing much to the table right now. He has the slow, but he just doesn't have that damage yet to really be effective. Also, like look at the difference in vision. Everyone on Fire Chickens has a pink ward right now.
Yeah, 0 pink wards in the inventories of Dolo Gang here.
Yeah. I wonder if that's how that's gonna play.
Yeah, we mentioned Dolo Gang might be a newer team, but Gensh here caught out by the Sejuani ultimate. Will be stunned up, uses the flash and the stealth to get out.
I think the flash was a little premature, but probably just wanted to be safe.
Yeah, at this later stage of the game, losing a oh, here goes young Dojo, but he will not find anyone. Oh, Shinishu's level team pushing only Djox into the team. Galli ultimate comes out. Young Dolo engaging once again, misses everybody. He will fall to Silvermane. Meanwhile, teleport being channeled by something stinks.
Ooh.
Jadkins falls. Dude, the Gnar ultimate dodged out. Great flash by Mr. Solo Dolo there.
The Nard just comes down.
And you can see Gensh here just waiting on the wings, knowing that some of those members are low.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to Dolo Gang. They really are holding their own. I mean, the support is going down in the fights, but they are picking up priority kills. They got the Sedge in this fight. They had the Corki and the Triss in the last fight. I think the one thing I would say about that fight, I think they overcommitted a little bit too much to the Alistar. But I think it worked out for them in the end anyways.
Yeah, another important thing to note is that the summoner spells on the side of the Fire Chickens are all available for their carries, while we do not have any summoner spells except for the flash on Azir available, so they might try and delay the next fight if possible.
Xayah has heal though, right?
Oh, yep, Xayah does have heal. Does not have flash.
But does not have flash, yeah, which is
definitely something that you want against the Alistar Sejuani.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks like Shadowbot will solo this Infernal Dragon. Might be spotted out here by Dolo Gang, but they will not face check the river. Yeah, it's too late. Already taken. But yeah, the longer this goes on, that Azir is scaling, and that late game scaling of Azir with the new buffs are relatively unknown.
Yeah.
Baron started up here on the side of Fire Chickens. They will secure it, but not in time to get out safely. Taunt comes down, 4 members taunted.
Wow.
And Recon Exchange comes out as well. Genj on Shanabot here. Will not be able to pick up the kill. Azir jumps in. Meanwhile, Trig falls to Gnar. Mr. Solo Dolo, the last member, and he will fall as well. Good effort there from Dolo Gang, but just unable to execute the team fight.
Yeah. Fire Chickens did a really good job of cutting it out. You know, with the Azir, not Azir, Corki package or his Valkyrie at least.
And like we mentioned in Champion Select, after that 30-minute mark, that Kha'Zix has a very difficult time in these team fights.
Yeah.
Jumping onto Shanabot, but just immediately being buster shotted and then killed by the remaining members.
It's hard when you kind of look at their team fight. You know, you're not really going to get a chance to get somebody isolated unless the other members are able to pick somebody off or disrupt the team. But overall, I think kind of in the middle they came together a little more. But I think Fire Chickens was just too far ahead to really do something.
Yeah, I agree there. They were showing some good signs of life, Dolo Gang, around the mid game, but it was too late. They'd already lost 1 or 2 team fights, lost a Dragon, and even lost the Baron. Just pulling it together too late in that game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because they weren't too far behind in the middle game, but you could kind of tell the momentum wasn't really in their favor.
Yeah, Shanabot there at that point had already picked up about 8 kills to his name by the time that Dolo Gang was able to start turning some of these fights. And a Tristana that's fed is just very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, very difficult to deal with.
Let's go and take a look here at the damage real quick. So you can see here that Silvermane on the Corki and Shanabot and the Tristana just dealing a combined 50 damage compared to the Azir, who was able to keep up, but meanwhile the Xayah, Trig on the Xayah was just not able to output the same damage numbers.
Yeah, and the other thing, look at the Kha'Zix. You know, the full tank Galio actually did more damage than the Kha'Zix. It's just, I think it's unfortunate that he got behind in the early game. You know, I think if he got to pick up a couple kills, snowball a little harder, I think that game would have been a lot more even, or maybe even in favor of Dolo Gang.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's definitely something that they can look to combat in this game too. Now that they've gotten a better feel for how Fire Chickens play and how they need to work that early game.